to rest. There's none of that. Literally,
Yeah.
my leave is ending on Friday and I haven't even rested. Every day I'm up at 5, like I usually am. I was like, kafana, nje, honestly.
Yeah.
Also, today I had to check some cases that I had, so I worked a bit. I get fine, honestly. At this
Yeah.
point, guys,
No, yeah,
but it's
because
okay, man.
the family takes a leave as you being available to do things for them that you're not usually able to do when
Exactly.
you're at work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is not the case, guys. I feel like the reason I'm taking leave is because I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I
You
need to
need the
rest.
rest. Yeah.
They don't care a
Um,
damn.
that-
But you know what? It's fine. It is what it is. It is what it
yeah.
is, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. But at least you're still alive, and you're still enjoying a little bit of
Barely,
that time. Yeah.
barely alive, child. Barely
Yeah.
alive. But yeah.
Yeah. But I'm glad to see that you're good, man. I'm glad to
Hey,
hear
man.
that you're
Glad to see
good.
it too. Good. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think it's been what, like I think three
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah, just
Yeah.
about.
It's just
Uh
about, yeah.
yeah. And the good thing is today we're doing the episode a bit differently. I think this is the first episode I think we're doing where we're actually doing a bit of a deep dive.
Yes.
Yeah, even though I think I don't know how deep it's gonna go, but we'll see. At least we have something to talk about.
Hmm. Actually, bold of us to do a deep dive in something we have no idea
Yeah,
about. That's the whole point of
yeah.
learning. So,
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like it's actually like the right time to do it. I don't think we're gonna
yeah.
be able to. We're probably gonna miss that window if we were going to do it like maybe next week or actually if we're going to do it later than today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna miss that window. Yeah, I don't know what window it is exactly, but it just felt right to do it today.
Do it now. I hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know how okay, but either way, it's still all the same because we can't really go too long.
Now we'll see. We'll see what
Mm.
happens.
Yeah. And also because I'm guessing you also had a bit of time to actually go through everything. Do you feel
Yeah.
like we have everything that we need? Are we missing anything?
From what I saw, no, because knowing us, we always tend to find something to speak about in whatever we're
Yeah.
speaking about,
Oh
you know?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really feel like it's a good I feel like it's more than a skeleton because it did go into detail. So I feel like
Yeah.
it's very good for us to work from.
All right. Awesome. That's great. Did you get a chance to listen to Kane Keid's EP? Did you even know that he
But
dropped the EP?
I didn't even know that the only thing I saw about King Kid was him at Cotton Fest,
Yeah.
but I didn't even know he dropped an EP.
Oh yeah. But and it's weird that they didn't really talk about it as much, considering also that Roc Nation is doing the distribution.
Actually, the only person I saw that dropped Nakona was today is Demtuda.
Yeah.
As much as there wasn't, because the last time I saw anything about it was when he posted, I think a month ago, that he's going to be releasing something.
Yeah.
Then there hasn't been chat since. Then last night before I went to bed, I saw a tweet. Somebody was saying that he's dropping. Except I obviously forgot. When I went to my Spotify, it's there like your new releases and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, I really don't know why King Kid was not there. I don't know what's happening with that, honestly. But
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't know until for what you said.
Yeah. I didn't even know that them to the dropped as well. I only just found out now from you.
Said I'm doing a Wednesday clean. What do I give it
Oh,
to you on a Wednesday?
what's that?
Or
I missed
maybe
that.
it's acting like it's Friday. No, I'm saying he just said I'm gonna drop it on a Wednesday. I'm not gonna wait for it by Friday like people normally do.
Oh
Give it to
yeah.
us on a Wednesday. Unless it's looking at it from a point of technically it's another long weekend because some people are really not going to work on
But
Friday, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I don't even know
Let's look at it from that.
Yeah, it's very interesting because it's also considering that Kane Keid dropped on a Tuesday as well, on the 29th, when today was also available for him to drop.
Oh, so that was yesterday. Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
that
you
was
dropped on
yesterday.
Friday.
No, no, it was on
Damn.
the 29th, which was yesterday. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, because
Damn. I
yeah,
didn't know that.
I actually got to listen to the EP a bit earlier on today. Which is yeah, I have some thoughts,
Mm.
particularly about the first three tracks. But yeah, I have some thoughts around that because it features one of the songs features Usmamane. He has Zulu Mecca and
Mm.
who's that other guy? Let me just oh, it's Tembi Powers. Um, Okay, so those are the first four tracks on there. So the first one is Tested with no feature on that one. And then it's got Tembi Powers on the second song, Usmamano the third, and Zulumeka on the fourth. And then it's got Dada and Retro Vibe as well
So it's
on there in
just
the
four
last two
songs.
songs. No, no, it's nine. Nine songs. It's 26 minutes, 26 minutes long.
That's an album, Chief. That is an album.
Yeah.
As let me tell you now, an EP is supposed to be 6 tracks maximum. Don't ask me where I heard this from.
Yeah.
Don't quote me. It's not written down. It's not facts or anything. Personally,
Yeah.
if it's 9 tracks, it's an album.
That's
You're literally
actually,
one track short of giving us 10 songs.
yeah, that's actually true because
Nah,
technically, or rather officially, like an album is supposed to be like 30 minutes long, at least. And
you
he
see,
is
if
just,
it's 26 minutes,
yeah,
literally
it's,
3.5 minutes short.
yeah. So it's basically one song short, uh, from, from it being
Literally.
from being officially an album.
But I'm saying is literally one, like literally from a number 10 body of work short from being an album.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Who
But
am I to
yeah,
complain?
yeah. But it's actually because my favorite song on there it's "Hurt Myself."
Mm.
Yeah, I think
Who
it's
does
"Hurt
that one
Myself."
feature?
No feature on that one. It's just him.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like because when I listen to that song, it has that nostalgic feel about it. It's sort of like a Nas type thing.
Mm.
And how I see it is that with Roc Nation having signed that whole publishing deal with him, I feel like that's the song that they're going to look at or listen to and say that this is the reason why we signed him. I feel like that's
Mm.
the yeah. I feel like for Roc
It all
Nation
makes
that will
sense.
yeah for them it will make sense because
Mm.
it has that American type thing, but also where like proper hip hop heads in South Africa will also get to understand and will get to hear. For like for the production, the his
Yeah.
flow, the lyrics on there, it just makes sense. I feel like this is the one song on there that makes full perfect sense, especially with Roc Nation
I
on.
know. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's see if
Yeah.
I'm not listening to MfanaTouchLine or shandesh. Find it between there because yo guys, they had me on a chokehold. My goodness.
Actually,
Yo.
we might as well just get into it because touchline Touchline actually let's start there like Touchline and I said this like in a tweet where I said that Touchline's music sounds like a parody, like it's so
Mm.
funny but also it's very good.
That's the thing.
Like it's an artist that you can take him seriously for his art, but when you listen
Yeah.
to his lyrics, also you can hear which this person is not really serious, but is also at the same time serious about what he's doing.
Yeah. And the flow also, he's able to play with his words. I'm not going to, and
Yeah,
take things from different things and bring them together. You
yeah,
know how I have a friend who likes saying that Stogie, Ginger, McLaren is the rapper but pyramids, right?
yeah,
So whenever I listen to him like that, I need to be in a space where I feel like I'm being a very intellectual person.
Yeah,
That's when I listen to them. I can't just listen to them J. And I feel like with MfanaTouchLine, as much as he has a focus on something, now he's very creative in a sense that he can bring things together and make them flow.
yeah,
You hear him going from speaking about liking mihlali to drinking ilin abayidesha ngegrape, and it's just like, but it flows, all of it works,
works. Yeah,
Just fun, man. It's really, don't think about it too much. I think that's it for me. Just don't think about it too much.
too much.
Enjoy it. And also, I like how short the songs are. 2:30, 2:20 out, clean. It's just like I'm not here to waste the time.
And the thing is, like with all of these songs, I don't know. I think all these songs are working around the same tempo, and the
Yeah,
way where it starts and where it ends, it almost feels like if you play like any song, any of his songs randomly, we can have them on random. But
yeah,
with the one song starts and where the next one ends, it kind of sounds like it's the same song, but it's just the beat that is switching, and
definitely.
it's an
Yeah.
amazing thing for him to, and I feel like it's probably like a signature of his that is trying to
Hmm.
instill, where like on the very first millisecond the song starts until the very last millisecond the song ends, and then you just have the very small gap with the next song begins, and
Yeah.
it just sounds like that like it's the same song, but the beat just switched.
Literally, he literally ends a song with a step out. Literally, there's nothing else.
Yeah,
If the song is about Ngom, so at the end it just says Ngom and something else starts. Like your
yeah,
Italia will come in and it just goes on. Italia ends literally Italy on the dot and Brad and Balenciaga starts.
yeah.
It sounds like it's flowing. It sounds like an album, but then that's you just listening to the songs and
So,
shuffle. Because literally the
yeah,
first time I listened, that's how I listened. I just went to my Spotify, searched for his name, and I pressed play. So they were just playing however.
yeah, and
And I knew this nigga had me when I played all of his songs twice during my run. And I was like, this was
yeah,
nice. Do it again tomorrow. Because the tempo is
yeah.
amazing. Like, it kept me going. You know?
Yeah, like
I'm a fan. I'm not going to lie. I'm a fan.
yeah, there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of life in that music. It's just fun to listen to, like really fun to listen to, and also the way that he uses those samples. I don't know if it's a sample or whatever it is. It's got Ngom, so DJ, what's his name?
DJ
The
Clock.
DJ Clock, yeah. And he has Ngom, so and then he also did it's Prada and Balenciaga. Gosh, what's that song that he sampled on
Literally,
there?
let me tell you, I might not know the songs now, but it's not just those two songs. I
Yeah,
feel
it's not
like
just
every
those two
single
songs.
song that I've heard by him, I've heard before. The beats that is.
Yeah.
Like I'm
So
still waiting for one that for me is like, okay, I've never heard this beat before.
yeah,
But everything else, I feel like I've heard it. It might have been that they just maybe instead of slowing it down or keeping it the same, they
yeah.
upped it a bit. It's a bit faster now. But I really feel like all of them, even the one that I released, is it today or yesterday?
Did you release
I
something
don't remember,
else
but
this week?
it's a single. Yeah, it's a single. I saw it yesterday. No, unless it was released last week, but Spotify only suggested it yesterday. But it suggested a new song
Yeah.
from him. When I listened to it, same thing was happening as well. I'm just like, oh, okay.
No, I'll
So
check.
they are like songs from
And he's releasing these songs very quickly. Like with the number of songs that he has on his.
it,
Sorry, I lost you, Desi.
sorry, I'm saying the song was released today. It's Live in the Moment.
Live in the moment.
It's 2 minutes clean. Even
Oh
that
yeah.
one I've heard that the people.
Oh yeah, and I'm looking at it right now. And he's releasing all this music, I think, under his own record label or something. Lipara Latip or something.
Mm. As
So,
initially, I really thought he was playing
yeah,
because I was like, what he was trying to do, or he was joking around and it caught on, and now
yeah.
he's just been playing around.
Yeah,
Because
and
even when you look at those videos, like he's posted videos to some of these songs, and they are the funniest, dizziest things.
yeah, and I remember because I think I discovered MfanaTouchLine probably last week or something. But like a few weeks ago, when he dropped Dikota tsa Swervo, the
Hmm.
that art that the clip art was making the rounds on social media, and it's like the dizziest art
Hmm.
that we've seen because it's got like a kota, it's got Fanta grape, and it's got a cup with lean in it with a white background. Like it's just
Hmm.
you use like it's sort of like you use Microsoft Paint to put all those pictures together, and then you just release it like that. That's it. That's done. But I didn't really take it seriously at the time, and that's the nature of his music. Like at first, you don't really take it seriously, but it catches you very, very quickly. It was only when I started listening, went into his profile to check him out, like MfanaTouchLine, who's this guy? Where I saw that
Hmm.
that art image again, and it was his latest single at the time, Dikota tsa Swervo. And Swervo as well, because I think is one of his friends. He features on some of the other songs.
Hmm.
Like he's also the
Yeah.
both match each other's energies.
Oh no, they definitely do. The way now I was introduced to MfanaTouchLine, it was the dizziest thing. So I
Yeah,
have a friend, the same friend I was telling you about what the pyramid, right?
yeah,
He's like, did you see the tweet about touchline, MfanaTouchLine? I'm like, what tweet? So he sends it to me, and the tweet says something along the lines of, I can't believe Touchline worked so hard to solidify his name and rap so hard, only for some gimmicky person to come and call himself MfanaTouchLine and blow up more than him, you know? So he sent that to me because he knows how much I like Touchline.
yeah,
Then I'm like, I don't know who's the person. Like, I've never heard him. And he couldn't believe it. So now he sends me his videos on TikTok. He sends me like, I think 6, 7, or 8. And it's late. I think I'm like, you know what? Tomorrow, because I'm not gonna do that right now. So I go to sleep, I wake up the next day, go to the gym, work. Around 1, he's like, Aibo, it's tomorrow. Get back to me. What do you think about this guy? So eventually I go and listen to him, right? I'm like, okay, he's fun. He's cool. He's cool. Then the next is a Friday. I can't listen to him late, not even at 1, I think around 4. I'm like, no, that he's nice, but I didn't pay much attention. Saturday morning, I'm like, let me actually jog to this guy.
yeah,
And the energy I had, that's when I knew, like, he's a real one
yeah,
because he did something for me. So
yeah,
since then, guys, it's been, I think, like 3, 4 weeks now. And I'm just like, yeah,
yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, and just to like also cover the touchline thing. Touchline isn't really mad at all about Vanna Touchline using the name because he also and I think this was a discussion that was having on Twitter yesterday, saying that the touchline actually means something else because Vanna Touchline is from Pretoria, if I'm not mistaken. So he's saying that he's not mad
Yes,
because
right.
the
It's different.
touchline
Yeah.
means yeah it means something totally different in Pretoria where Vanna Touchline is from. Because apparently I think Touchline is a
Yeah.
name of the area where Vanna Touchline is from. So
Mhm.
yeah, so he might be using that name because of where he's from. But he also mentioned something else. I forgot what it was. But yeah, but just Touchline himself is not really mad at all. He's also like his expression is that he's happy to see this guy doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the fact that he also has a respect for the art, and he hasn't used the name to disrespect Touchline at all. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah. And when I was when I was uh, when I was introduced to him and I started like searching him and whatnot, I saw that there was a lot of people from his neighborhood who or the area that he's from
Hmm.
who actually refer to each other as Mfana Touchline.
Right.
So as you said, good thing, it's more of an area based ukuthi yena, he kind of I think took it and ran with it. But
Yeah,
when you're from Soweto and it's Mshwana Kosota or whatever. So I think it's
yeah,
that thing. That's the lingo that they are using there. and a lot of them actually are referred to as MfanaTouchLine. They go to
MfanaTouchLine. Yeah.
MfanaTouchLine. So I think
Yeah.
with him, because he's the one making the music, is like, I can run with it, and there's no problem with that, guys.
Yeah.
There's really no problem.
Yeah, and there's no bad blood either. But yeah, I'm very excited I'm very excited about MfanaTouchLine's future. Hopefully he'll be around a long time and he won't deviate from what he's doing and just grow and become better and better at it.
So I want him to respect his craft, because they mean to blow up like this here unexpectedly.
Yeah,
You might get a lot of gigs, right?
yeah,
And like you went from doing this maybe for fun to now getting a check for it. And there are certain expectations that now people have probably the entire weekend. Like we don't know, maybe what if maybe he's the person who likes sleeping, and now he's going to go from sleeping a lot to
mm,
he can't sleep, and now it gets to a point where he misses gigs, and those are what they are doing if they really love it that much.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I do hope that he really gets far, and hopefully the other guys who are more serious about hip hop. Actually, I don't know if I'm phrasing it correctly, but the other guys like Bo Aries and Bo 25K,
Mm,
who I'm not really joking around in their music because they're all taking it seriously. MfanaTouchLine is also taking this music thing seriously. He's just doing it in a humorous way, and I'm
mm.
hoping that the other guys, between 25K and them, also are also able to embrace him and are also able to work with him. Because I feel like if they do that, find a way to work with him, it will really take him as far as hip hop is concerned. Because I think that we should expect to see him at this year's Back to the City.
I really feel like it. I feel like also if maybe we knew about him a bit earlier, it would
Yeah.
definitely have been a Cotton Face because I also feel like that's more of his vibe,
He,
looking at the music that he's giving us.
yeah, he was actually at
He would
Cotton
have
Fest.
ate Cotton Face. Was it performing?
Yeah, it
Because I saw
was
somebody else performing. Oh, that's nice.
yeah, he was booked for Cotton Fest.
See that's nice. That's
Yeah.
where I know his market is. Definitely, that's where his market
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, yeah. Because I actually
I don't even
said
know what it looks like. Actually, yeah, I'm thinking about it. All the videos I've seen, like it's usually walking away or dancing, facing to the ground. I really
yeah.
don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, it's very hard to. I don't think like if I was to meet him personally, I would know that this is MfanaTouchLine because I've seen some videos, I've seen some images, but it's very hard to actually see him properly.
He reminds me of the new Amapiano guys. Like, when you listen to people's music like
Yeah,
religiously and you just don't know how they look like.
yeah.
I really don't know how Sticks looks like. I have no idea how Swervo looks like. I really have no idea how they all look like. The only person I know now because he was trending, the guy apparently with the attitude. Oh,
Scott.
yes, Batini one.
Yeah,
That's the only I started singing videos of him, you understand?
yeah.
So right now it's the same thing with Touchline. I really wouldn't in a crowd I wouldn't point
No,
unless he gets on stage and they say that's Touchline.
Touchline. Yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah.
he's feeling new. We'll get used to him.
No, we will. We definitely will. And I feel like we we actually should make it a point to meet him at this year's Back to the City because I know that it's gonna be there. So we should make it a point to meet him there.
And he looks like it sounds like such a fun guy. Like Nancy is always just happy.
Yeah.
Just vibes.
Yeah, like very, very chilled. But yeah, but we have to move on. We don't really have a lot of time. And I want us now to get into Because you were talking about Shandesh as well, and I understand that
Mhm.
she's your favorite Lekompo artist at the moment.
Let me tell you. But I found myself there and I was sold. I love her so much.
Yeah.
I really, really love her music. She's fun, man. And also, it's something her and MfanaTouchLine, they always get me through my runs
Hmm.
because there's something about Lekompo music that's just to move. There's nothing calm about that. So there's nothing you're chilling on a Sunday, washing the car. You're not gonna wash your car to Lekompo. Unless
Nah.
you're gonna finish in 20 minutes. You're not washing your car to Lekompo. You know, you're not having an easy Sunday morning to Lekompo. There is no way.
Like it takes you
When
from zero to
Inyaka
a
Red
hundred.
Bull, literally Inyaka Red Bull, it needs
Yeah.
something. Like it's literally it's give- I absolutely love it because I feel like it's you know how we've been focused on Amapiano for so long?
Yeah.
It low-key feels like a breath of fresh air for me personally.
No, it does. It really does. There's like recently I've been listening to a lot of house music, right? And
Mm,
trying to discover new house music, you get especially when you put it on radio,
mm.
on YouTube Music or Apple Music, whatever. At some point it's going to lead you to amapiano. Like even if it's the subgenre is not entirely amapiano, but there's elements of it. There's the log drum. Uh there's there's just an element of amapiano, and it turns me off very very quickly because it gets tiring listening to Amapiano. So having the compo right now blowing up like it is, having warm MfanaTouchLine blowing up like he is, it is a breath of fresh air.
It really is. But also one thing that I know about myself that I always tell you, the nerves, guys. That's why I think I prefer listening to Foundation I'm running because I just run. But
Yeah,
I feel like it gets to a point where it becomes overwhelming. It's a
right.
lot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no. And I'm just like, I can't anymore. Because I literally always have earphones on. If I'm not in my AirPods, I'm wearing headphones. So when I'm listening to it, it's here. I feel
Hmm.
like it's different when you're hearing it from a speaker, which is a bit further, you know.
Yeah.
When it's here, it does become a bit too much, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying this because there's a friend who asked me why didn't I go to Lekompo balcony mix? I think is it still balcony? I think
Yeah. Balkan mix. Yeah.
I'm just like ngiyakhona. I really can't. Oh, let me tell you, if the event starts at 2 p.m., I'd be out at 2:15.
Yeah.
At most, half past three. I can't because not only is it naturally loud, imagine being in an event. You know how the music production is at events, the
Hmm.
sound. Guys, there are sound systems that you could be back to the city, the stage is here, and you're hearing the sound from the bridge on the other side.
Yeah.
Now imagine hearing that and you're hearing Hit Boss, Lishandesh from oh, honey. Oh, I suffer from chronic headaches, guys. I have migraines. Oh, no, I would see dust.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to have myself home. I
It,
would see dust. But they look like such a vibe, man. They really look like such a
it,
vibe. Everybody looks like they're having a good time when they're there.
Yeah, and the worst thing is a lot of the people at the Balkan Mix, or rather followers of Lekompo today, kids, teens, and in their early 20s. So their energy is incredibly high. Like they're always
True.
able to match each and every song. We've seen the videos, and especially the one that was trending I think a month ago,
Mhm.
where they were having some sort of event. Everyone is stripped in Nike from head to toe, even have it on their hands with the Nike gloves. You can
Mhm.
just tell with these people, they do not need anything. They do not need any form of substance. They just need the
Yeah.
music, and their energy is right up there. And it's a very fun thing, and it's also I don't know if it's a Limpopo thing, but their music is always high tempo.
Mm.
Lekompo is high tempo. You've got what is it that Papa Penny makes? The music that Papa Penny makes. It's high tempo. The Tsonga
What is your
music is
favorite
high
song of
tempo. I forget
Yo,
I forget what it's called. But yeah, Tsonga music is high tempo.
yes.
Venda people also have their own music, right?
Let me tell you, they do, and bonke they are loud.
Very,
You will
very
find
loud.
that girls bakhona ngo 6 6 7 minutes umuntu khona is cleaning the yard. There's a girl I saw. She literally tied the speaker to her back. Like I wanna like more tumtana.
Yeah.
Literally wabeka speaker move. Extend what 9 10. She's doing laundry outside, like ngezandla. I'm like, there's no way. There is absolutely no way. These are the same people who don't mind taking a walk and playing music from a speaker. We are taking
Yeah.
a walk in a residential area. We're playing Likompo
And
on a speaker. Why?
oh, and I was very curious about Lekompo itself, about its origins and where it
Mm,
comes from. So obviously, we had to do a little bit of digging
yes.
around it. And what I found is that apparently, it okay. So some of the influences in Lekompo, and it includes traditional Pedi music. It includes hip hop, house, and kwaito. So all of these things being brought together, and it's a very very interesting thing because even today, when you actually do listen to Lukompo, you do have that old traditional sounds, elements that you hear,
Oh, yes.
and yeah, that I don't know if we call it the chords or whatever it is,
Mm,
but you hear, Gutsi, this is it's not like amapiano. Amapiano, you can just tell Gutsi, this is purely house music, with a bit of kwaito, and it's all
yes.
very very modern. But with Likompo, you can hear a lot of the older sounds. It's sort of like if you were to play Wom, but include Maskandi in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
There's a lot
makes
of different
sense.
elements into it.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of all those elements. So I had to like just a bit of light reading, I guess. And there were questions about who actually started Likompo, and a lot of that. Gwabona abantu people who are in the Likompo music by Pixana
Mm.
on their own about who actually founded Likompo, because some people
There's
are
one thing
saying.
about origin of music. Those chats will always be had.
Always, always, even because
Always.
remember, even with Amapiano,
Mm-hmm.
that same conversation was being had.
Yep.
Yeah, that and I don't know if people have put it to rest as yet, but it's a similar thing. And at some point, we're also going to pass this phase with Lekompo, because
Yeah, definitely.
some people are saying that it's Spencer Man, who I think broke out in around the late 90s, around
Mhm.
97, 98, somewhere there. Other people are saying it's DJ Call Me. DJ Call Me, if you remember, he had that song,
To
Marry
marry me.
Me. Yeah.
Oh, that was my jam. It makes sense that I like the combo right now. It makes
Yeah.
complete sense. Guys, oh, I used to love
Yeah.
that song so much. Hearing that song, Carapaz,
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, and right now it actually makes sense now that Lekompo is where
Mhm.
it is. Because at the time we didn't even know that there was such a thing as Lekompo. All we thought
Yep.
was that it was because when I heard "Marry Me," I never liked that song. Like the sounds and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was never my thing. But I remember it being a very very big hit and
Oh,
people
it was
loving it.
huge.
It was
It was
huge.
huge,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
And so that song used to be a banger. Like
Yeah,
all the transport drivers with the speakers in the back, it used to be a
yeah,
banger, you know.
yeah.
That Libo, like Mogwanti vibes and your
Yeah,
Casablanca, that time. So
yeah,
yeah, I get it.
yeah. Because for me, I thought that song by DJ Call Me, I thought it was along those lines with Bo Mujavan and Bo
Mm.
gosh, what's his name? He used to drive a silver Hummer with his name on the windscreen. Um,
Mujo, Mujo, no?
Bujo Mujo, yeah.
Was it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Pujo Mujo. And I actually remember, but I think because now I'm deviating a bit, but I remember seeing Pujo Mujo's car. I think this was probably around 2008, 2009, because
Mm,
my brother used to stay with one of his friends, yeah, around that time, and he's
mm,
from Pretoria. So one time, I spent the day with this guy, Eddie. We went to Pretoria. We left like in the morning and in the afternoon. I don't know how many times I saw Bujo Mujo's hammer that day. Probably like 3 or 4 times. I kid you not, like in different areas of Pretoria. And I was
yeah,
wondering, like, does this guy never sit still? He's all over the place. But yeah, anyway, so I thought that Marry Me was along those lines, but those are just two different genres. It's two different things, even
yeah.
though they sound similar. But there's also Villager SA, but he's saying that he didn't. There's a podcast that he was on where he said that he had nothing to do with starting Lekompo.
Nation.
Yeah, like he joined already, Lekompo already existing. Now, if and I listened to a bit of Spencer Man's music,
Mm-hmm.
and I can hear from that music. This was like back in 97, 98, where he
Yeah.
released this music. And I can hear a lot of the elements of what we're hearing today in
Mm.
Likompo. So not much has really changed. It's sort of like he made that, and then there was this huge break in how he did it, where people were just making the compo music and it sounded a bit different. And then now they are back, and they're also including elements of the log drum and all of that, which is quite fun and it's really really fun to listen to.
No, definitely. I feel like if I, I'm not reaching much, I really feel like it gives off Maskandi and Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's mostly a thing of traditionally, that's what we grew up on. That's the music that we were surrounded by.
yeah,
And as we grew up and as we learned the music industry, as we learned how to play chords, instruments, like how we all got a different ear for music, we were able to now bring different elements into it,
yeah,
not entirely changing it, but just harnessing it here and there, you
yeah,
know? So I feel like when you break it down and remove certain elements, you'll hear it's okay, this it's very traditional at the crux of it.
yeah.
It reminds them
We
of
did
home or where they're from.
from,
Do you
yeah.
understand?
Yeah, so it gives them a bit of nostalgia, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah, it gives them a lot of nostalgia, and also makes sense why a lot of people from Limpopo, Tsonga guys, they love these huge sound systems in their cars. Like it's always very, very loud. They're always the sound system you just have to have, and it's what Shebe also did in his Golf R. He had Haman Kardon can stand it with his Golf R, but he said that is not enough. That's not what I want to hear. I want
Like,
my
oh,
own sound system.
it's like removing the Bang& Olufsen from an Audi. Why would you do that? Why would, you know what, no? As much as he did that, that I'm not mad about because naturally, like his golf or his jitsa or whatever has the capacity, right? Already was
Yeah,
it has a lot of sound.
yeah.
You know the ones that get me is the ones who do that remember that old Toyota Corolla speakers are red, and I'm just like, why? All
Uh,
around the car, the back, the sides, the speakers are red. And they are loud. And the car is so small. I'm just like, you can't even hear the lyrics. Literally, oh, it's like an Indian's car that's not fitted properly with the sound. You're just hearing the bass that's so painful. It shakes your windows, but you're not hearing the lyrics.
yeah, and I had a friend, Pizzo. He bought a Conquest some years ago, probably like might have been like 9 8 9 years ago.
Mm.
And he also because he was from Bushbuck Ridge.
Mhm.
So it's a mix of I forget what the language is called that they speak. Where
Or
it's a
Slovene.
oh, what's that?
Is it Slovene?
I think so because what by bula bula. So it's a mixture
They
of
mix Lady Tonga and what else? I think there's a
yes,
third one.
there's a bit of Siswati in there. as
Yes.
well. Yeah, so it must be because but Bula Bula. He also he put in a huge sound system, and whenever we were driving together, he would turn up the volume in that car, and he would still
Mm.
want to have a conversation, which did not make never made sense to me. Which never made sense to me.
I guess they're both
But
out there just trying to speak over the music and over each other.
yeah, and it never works because I mean personally, I'm not I don't like loud music, and it's very difficult for me to hear anything when there's loud music. I can't have a conversation when the music is too loud. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's a thing for them. It's a thing. Yeah, which is a bit weird. Also very crazy. And I saw Mahapa around when Shandesh had that interview. When was that?
Hmm.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, time flies. Could be last week or 2 weeks ago. Could be last week early, or
yeah. Or
maybe
the
they
week
played it last
before.
week early. But yeah, I think it was had the week before that.
Oh, yeah. And he was saying in that tweet was saying that people are surprised that a Lekompo artist is actually a Lekompo, which I did not understand what he meant. And now I did not understand fully what he meant, but it gave
Hmm.
me an idea that Lekompo is not just a music genre. It's
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
it's
yes.
yeah, it's actually like a group of people. But
Yeah,
yeah, but I had to also get into the comments to find out what he actually means and
yeah.
what makompo, or what's the right word? Is it who or what Makompo people are?
Who Makompo people are.
Yeah, who
Like,
Makompo people are. So apparently, um, the word Likompo. Okay, so Likompo is older than the music genre itself. And what I
mm,
was unable to find was what the people who are labeled as Makompo actually listen to. Because the word Likompo, it comes from the word compound. So it's people who lived on farms. They were farm workers living on the farm. So I guess the where the people the farm workers lived, I guess they called it a compound. And that's where the word Lekompo was derived from. And the people there, and I suppose it's mainly in Limpopo, where there was this music that they were listening to. It must have been that loud music, the
yeah.
traditional Pedi music, very loud, very disco-ish disco-ish, I guess. And they were eventually called Makompo. And also because they mentioned that they mentioned that is a derogatory term. So it's not a
Oh,
nice thing to be called a Makompo or a Linkompo person because they said that it's if you're called a makompo, it means that you are poor, you're uneducated.
mm,
Yeah, what are the other terms that he used? Yeah, it's uncultured, uneducated, lawless,
mm.
poor, all those things, which is not a very nice thing to be called. It's not a very
Yeah, it's
nice,
not.
yeah, it's not a very nice label to be given. And it's also a very interesting thing why the musicians adopted the term Likompo. Was it to cleanse it?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but
Well,
I guess it
literally
was.
cleansing as well.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess
really?
yeah. So I guess it that they adopted it just to cleanse the term. And he was just saying that Mahapa was saying that people shouldn't be surprised,
Mm,
more especially because of how Shandesh handled the South in that interview, where parts of the English um, parts of the question that was said in English, it seems like she didn't fully understand. Or was it a matter of not actually liking the interviewer? I don't really know. I don't really know what was going on there.
okay, before, excuse me, we touch on the interview. I feel like I know what he's saying about the word not being a nice word, right? It
Yeah,
reminds me of who's this? Trevor Noah once said way back in the day regarding the word kafir, right?
yeah,
And he said why can't we just not be shaken by it? You know?
Mm.
Like use it so much that it doesn't even shake you anymore. And like there's two ways to deal with that. To us, it could be easy for us to handle it because we didn't have first-hand experience,
Yeah.
right? But us playing around with it like that to our parents who were there and what they were subjected to when they were called that, it wouldn't be easy to take ownership and take power over it. 'Cause I think that's what he was trying to navigate towards. Let's take the power off the word
Mm.
and own it. Like that, we can't be hurt when somebody says it to us,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
There's something with that such word, it's a bit tricky because for us, we young, we didn't experience it like that. So it's easy for you to like it's like, oh, okay, no, let's just overuse it like the word nigger, and
Yeah.
then it becomes nothing, you know?
Yeah.
But what about the people who are there and they hear you guys speak about it like this? That's what I'm saying also with Lekompo, it could be the same thing. With him. Why must we be why must we feel like it's a bad
But
thing when we
mm.
can change the entire narrative?
Yeah.
But then the people who originated with that or who felt the embarrassment of all of that or who were there at the time might not agree
But
with you. So
but
it's a catch-22, really.
yeah. Because that in itself is a whole different conversation.
Exactly.
It's a whole different conversation, which we're not really gonna get into tonight. But I get you fully, and also understand because I mean they've adopted it. They've created an entire music genre around the world.
Mm.
So yeah, it's safe for us to say that they've adopted the word, and it's not necessarily to say that they are taking that stigma as well and sticking it upon
Yes.
themselves, but they're taking it just to cleanse the word, to say that we can call it Lekompo, and you can call us the musicians the fans as makompo, but you're not wearing Nike, and this all of this Nike is genuine. You're not wearing this Nike from head to toe, which
Is
yeah, you can call us uneducated, but we do have the money to do this. And it's not a cheap thing to do.
is it all genuine though? I have to be the
I don't
person
know.
because
I don't know. I don't know. I
and I
mean,
heard about Surabanyata, but
yeah.
guys, some of us don't care. And I don't know
Yeah.
what's crazy. It's not that Umuto Kona doesn't have the money. There are a
Yeah.
lot of people who do have the money to buy a 900 rand legging, but it's like, I'm full.
Yeah.
Gonna buy the entire set for 900 rand, you know?
Yeah. Because
And then
it's
they're all there, like no one's gonna walk around checking it, like the thread or what, or the labels, because now they all look the same, guys.
yeah.
It's just a bit of you knowing that you're rocking genuine or not, you know?
Yeah, because it's similar. It's a similar subculture to what the Skotanic culture was. You know,
Yes,
except that
yes,
these guys, Billy Compo, they are not bragging. They're not checking. They're not pocket watching each other.
yes.
Yeah, they're dressing it because it's I suppose we can call it uniform for them. That when we
Yes.
go to the Lekompo balcony mix or we go to an event where it's all about Lekompo, you have to be in Nike.
Exactly.
You
Yes.
have to be dripping in Nike from head to toe.
And is it I don't even think it was a dress code, but I think it was more of guys, genuinely people from Limpopo love Nike. They just like I'm
Yeah.
a colored. They
Yeah.
genuinely do. Like I've seen it, and it's like it's the most beautiful thing because when you genuinely love something, you don't care what anybody else says.
Then, yeah.
Do you understand? So it's the same as Ikutan. They loved what they loved. And to this day, there's so many of them who are still dressing like that in their
Yeah.
30s, because that's who they are, that's what they love. And so I'm saying, maybe on the second one, the thing of I'm feeling pressure because I don't have the Nike. Let me just buy this, the cap or the leggings or the track pants or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. If it was a theme, great that they all adhere to it, but it could literally just be because shandesh is always literally most of the time she's in Nike.
Yeah.
You know, Shebe is usually Shebe. I've never seen
Sheb
Shebe
is
in anything
always
Nike.
in Nike.
You understand?
Yeah.
And those are the fans that they have. You know. So one thing about fans are easily influenced, good or bad, right?
Yeah.
And if they see you rocking Nike all the time, they'll want to do that.
Good. Yeah.
You know?
Well,
And
which
then they all got paid. They're like, oh, shucks, actually, it's a cult.
Yeah. Which also begs the question, Gutsi, is there a Nike factory shop in Limpopo?
If they don't have it, they deserve it. They should take
They
the one
do.
in Mood, just give it. Actually, the one
Yeah.
in Pretoria, take the one in Pretoria, it's closer. Take it to Limpopo
But yeah.
because they
Yeah.
deserve it. There's no way. Because I feel like the way they rock Nike, they need more than the basic stuff that we see in like our local Nikes. Like,
The
give them
yeah.
rain. Because abancane we find Monday to Friday, you know?
Yeah. And they also deserve some pretty exclusive stuff.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
definitely do. Now I'm looking at those clouds. I'm like, I want them for jogging.
Yeah.
Jewish now. You guys look good. Yeah, man. Okay. I love it. Because what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
like it. I really like the culture. I love everything they're doing for themselves.
yeah.
I
But
I just hope that they are different from because now, when you speak about the interview, now more the thing about the interviews that Makadzi has had. Some
mm,
things they are sometimes lost in translation.
yeah.
And that usually happens when there's a communication barrier with the languages, right?
Yeah.
But now, in this regard of my favorite granny, because guys, I love Shandesh. Oh, Shandi Mama, my
Yeah.
favorite granny. That interview, man, I was like, because I think it wasn't a language barrier thing, because this
Yeah.
girl said multiple times, even in baby. So
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's just a matter of comprehension, you know?
Mm.
It's I'm just like, I don't know if maybe like she genuinely couldn't understand because comprehension skills are not the greatest, or she was just not having a good day
Yeah.
and she was
But
maybe put off by a lot of things because it happens, man. We're all human, you know?
yeah. And you know, I have an issue with yeah, I have an issue with people always pointing at artists needing media training. Because
Mhm.
there's some things where you can have all the media training you can have in the world, but when a day arrives and there's an interview you probably do not want to do, or you are in a place that you do not want to be in. There's no amount of media training that's going to help you navigate around that. You're just going to do whatever, you're going to say whatever it is that you feel you want to say at that particular time. So I feel like for Shandesh, if she was truly excited about being part of the interview, she could have handled it a different way.
Yeah.
And she could have found a way to answer it, even if she's not really answering the question that was being asked because she didn't understand, but she was going to say something. And she was going to, the interview itself, how she handled it would have been very, very different from what we saw.
No, definitely. Because when you look at across the entire thing, you can see it's not just that snippet that was shared. That she
Yeah.
was just on the entire interview. Now,
Um,
for me, it begged the question whether the first ever interview, like, was she going through something? Was she not prepped? And now, us having seen that interview, we are human. We do have expectations, especially from people that we feel like we are fan of or supporters of.
yeah.
There's a lot of eyes right now to her with regards to how she's going to handle her next interview
Yeah.
and her needs. Because if that's the behavior that she has,
Yep.
it's going to be tricky in this industry, knowing how entitled people are.
Well, yeah, but she also released an apology video.
Yeah,
Must have been last week or
yeah,
something. Yeah, but like for me, it's there's a lot that goes missing when I listen to Lekompo and I listen to um uh, even with Shebe, with Shandesh, simply because I do not fully understand Spain. Like there's a
yeah,
couple of things that go missing for me, but I do get the context. But getting the context does not fully also give you like the proper feel of what the person is saying. Like you can just get the context, it's fine. This is what the person is saying. Catch a couple of words. It's sort of like Shebe. Shebe is hilarious. Like is genuinely funny.
yeah,
And listening to the things that he's saying, there's things that go missing. Like if you fully understand Spady, you'll be on the floor laughing from what he's saying.
yeah,
But if you're just someone like myself, you'll chuckle a couple of times. But there's a lot of things like nuances of what he's saying that I just fully do not comprehend, and that's my only issue with Likompo and and the artist. And it's not even their fault. It's
It's
just
not.
simply,
Like,
yeah, it's not their
yeah.
fault at all. It's just that I do not fully understand. But I am excited about Lekompo, and I feel like very, very soon we are going to have the biggest hits that this country has ever seen. Uh, and
Oh,
it's going to come out
definitely.
from it is going to come out of Lekompo.
No, definitely, I agree. As I think as ngicabanga njengoba uthi it's a matter of not understanding sometimes. In
Yeah.
my head, I'm just like, you are still struggling with the Pitori gens. You have a long way to go.
A very long way. Very, very
You
long
have a
way.
long way to go. You need to pass the Pitori
Yeah.
gens first before you understand Likom.
Yeah.
Because I understand Pitori, I understand the guys from Pitori, but when I listen to Likompo, sometimes I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh. And also, I think the speed also doesn't make it any easier. Oh,
It
because they're
doesn't.
quick.
Yeah.
Oh, they are quick. Literally, the friend I was speaking about from Ella who introduced me to MfanaTouchLine and everything.
Yeah.
There's a day where he randomly texted me and he's like, dog, how the hell do you hear Shandesh? I've been trying to listen to it for the past 15 minutes. I'm hearing nothing.
It-
I'm like, you get to it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Because literally this morning, I was listening to Hamapula, it's Shandesh, and
Yeah.
there are parts that I heard that I haven't been hearing the past couple of weeks. I'm like, oh, okay,
Uh,
it's making
Yeah.
sense. Kuyahlangana manje.
Yeah.
So I think at times you really need to be intentional about listening to it.
Mm.
No, at times like, there are days where you're just driving and you just want something to play in the background, or you're working out and you just want something to play in the background, you know, listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Then there are times when you are intentional about listening to the lyrics. I think that's what needs to happen a lot with Lekompo for Nguni people.
Yeah.
I think it's easy when you are non-Nguni because you understand you if you pay the Tswana or Sotho, it's probably easier for you to understand, or if you're from Pretoria. But I feel like if you're a Nguni speaking person, you need to be intentional with hearing what they're saying. Because
Yeah.
if you're not, it's a
Yeah.
literally gonna go over your head.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to add to that because we're actually running out of time. Because quickly I want us to get into the charts, Apple
Mhm.
Music versus Spotify. But also I'm trying very, very hard to find someone who is part of Likompo. I'm not looking for an artist, but I'm looking for
Mhm.
someone in the background, like a manager or something, that we can be able to bring onto the podcast to talk about Lekompo.
And
And
for this, you know, like
yeah,
give us
like
more understanding than what we already have right now.
yeah, give us like a better understanding. And hopefully we'll be able to do that within the next couple of weeks.
No, I hope so too. The only thing that I'd like to say is I really like the head boss essay combo
Yeah,
with Shanish. They work incredibly well together.
yeah,
Like if there's one relationship that I want to see flourish, they obviously can feature other people. She can have another song produced by somebody else.
yeah.
But I'd really like to have them take on the role together.
Okay.
And for me, they sound perfect. I feel like they get each other. They get along music wise. They understand each other, and
Yeah,
I like what go on.
you mean Jandesh.
No, Shandesh with Hit Boss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot of
because
songs that features Hit Boss
was
on as also an artist and okay, singer rapper, and
yeah,
also as I think a producer or composer.
yeah. Yeah, because there's also another one, another lady called Jandesh. Am I saying it right? Or Janesh. Yeah, it's Janesh. Because it sounds very similar to Jandesh. To Shandesh, sorry. Janesh also works with Hit Boss. And
Yeah.
her
And
voice
I
is
knew her
incredible.
first. I knew
Yeah,
her first before Shandesh.
yeah,
And even the Nike vibe, she even rocked the Nike with the Cavel. I think I knew her last year already. I like her voice, man. I love
yeah,
her voice.
yeah. Her voice is
Oh, her voice
amazing.
is amazing.
And
So calming.
yeah, and the thing that we are forgetting about that we actually left out around the compo is that much like Amapiano, there's a
Mhm.
message in that music that it's not just vibes, but
Definitely.
like there's proper lyricism that happens in Lekompo. And that is something that cannot be ignored or should not be
Oh
ignored.
no, definitely. Enjoying it. So remember when I broke down the chorus, he had a chopper on my Instagram on
Yeah.
my WhatsApp. My context was like, Zante, how the hell did you hear that? I'm just like, listen, I'm a very, guys, I'm a Zulu girl through and through, right?
Yeah.
But I'm very intentional with my music and I love our languages, right?
Yeah.
Man was Sjava now. Now he's out here doing stronger music and whatnot. I
Yeah.
love
I
it.
saw
That's what I
that.
want to see. That's what I love to see, guys. So they'll ask me, what did you hear? I'm just like, guys, when you hear something that catches you in a song, you're going
Mm.
to make sure that you understand everything.
Yeah.
That's what happened with the chop. And I'm just like, yeah, man, this girl is preaching. That's my vibe for the year. I don't care
Yeah.
who says what. That's my song of the year. I am calling it in April. They might release bangers throughout the year, September. You know how they always release my song of the year in September and whatnot.
Yeah.
My personal song of the year, the
The
chopper.
chopper. Yeah.
Clean.
Yeah. Yeah. Because again, like there's a lot of proper messaging in Lekompo.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's something like yeah, I'm also being intentional about learning these languages, like getting to learn Spitori, getting to learn Sepedi, so that I can fully enjoy all this music.
Oh, spade is difficult, guys.
Yeah.
Yo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If there's one thing that's giving me a hard time in this country is understanding Spady.
Sepedi. Yeah.
I'm, 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 I'm getting there. One thing about me, once I can hear all of them,
Yeah.
ask me to reply in one of them. I'm just like,
Nah, not
you're
today.
asking me for a lot. Ungihleba khona ngeke ngihlebe, unless it's
Yeah.
the deep. Because you know how, just like KZN, there's deep Zulu,
Bloom. Yeah.
same with every other province. Unless you're speaking deep Pedi, I'm just like, yeah, no, I get kuselo.
Yeah.
Those vibes, you know. But most of the time, I can hear it. But
Yeah.
replying, don't even reply me. One word
Yeah.
here, one word there.
Yeah.
But the conversation, we'll hear each other and
Yeah.
we'll communicate.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge fan of somebody not trying to speak my language.
Mm.
I'm really fine with us having a conversation in two different languages.
Yeah.
Masisixakekile, you explain. It's okay, no, no. Abulang lahlekile. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Okay, come down, maybe break it down in a common language. But if we can have a conversation, why not?
Yeah. Because it's how it is how it should be, in fact. Because
Yes,
yeah,
it
it
makes
is
sense.
how it should be. Like we don't necessarily have to be able to speak the other language, but at the very least, we have to be able to understand what is being said.
True.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's all I want.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get into the charts very, very quickly. So I'm gonna start because we're looking at the Apple um, top 100, actually looking at the top 10, the Apple top 10
Mhm.
as well as the Spotify top 10 to see just how different those charts are. So this week at number 10, I've got Oscar Mbo and Jazz Works with Vuga. I don't know how long Vuga has been on the charts,
In there.
but it's been there. It's been there. Number 9 is Lala Tukzin and Kabza with Mpumelelo. Number 8 is Shandesh and Moose it's actually muzzle, right? Muzzle with the chopper. Number 7 is Lala Tugzin and Gabza with Muti. Number 6, Kelvin and the musical chef with Bokoko. 5 is Alex Warren with Ordinary. Zee and Manelisi is number 4 with Nsatanda. DJ Maporisa X Dapi and Gabza at number 3 with Abantwana Bako. Jazz Works Mahu and who's that? Um,
Tsukela.
what's that?
Is it Tsukela with
Yeah. Oh
Uzizwa
yeah,
and
Tuktela.
song?
Yeah, yeah, because it's not showing like the full thing. Tuktela. Yeah. Number 2 with Uzizo Ganjan, and then number 1 is Caesar Jazz Works and Tuktela with Isaga 6 a.m. I played Isaga I think 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and people absolutely love that song.
Yep. Yep.
Absolutely love that song.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really crazy.
That's a
And
banger. I remember when it
yeah,
came on randomly on my shuffle, I was like, what is this?
that's yeah.
I played it back. I'm like, what is this? Let's go. And I actually always hear these songs when I'm working out. I'm just like, okay, I love
Yeah.
it. I super love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
and
banger.
yeah, and good say when we the first time we were doing this comparing the charts, Shandesh and Muzzle were there with Studla or Slender. Or was it the second time? I think it was the second time that we were doing this. With Studla or Slender. We didn't know the song. We didn't know, I didn't know who Shandesh and Muzzle were. And now looking back, we didn't realize just how big these two actually are. But no, but Studla Slender right now is out of the top 10 and it's at number 11.
Can I shock you with Shandesh?
Yeah.
You've known Shandesh, you probably didn't know it was her. Because like, as me, I listen to everything.
But
You know,
yeah.
remember that song, that Choke Slimmer song?
Choke.
They
That
played it
that
on
is
the one that Karishma has. Is it
yeah.
Karishma? Karishma for Lekompo.
Yeah,
I don't
Karishma.
want to say it's the remix or something like that, but there's a trend that she did where she was out. I don't even know if I can call it rapping or singing, but she was doing something on that, and it trended for such quite some time. Maybe just didn't realize it was her, or maybe because she wasn't that big yet.
It was on a trend on TikTok.
But the trend on TikTok, then I saw a snippet also on, what was it? Was it Twitter as well? I think so. But I think we were just not, we
We
didn't know
just
her like that.
yeah.
Yes.
And is Shebe on that song as well?
Heard Sheba on the song
Yeah,
as well.
song. Yeah.
So when you look
That
back, now just like, actually, this thing, all of it is coming together.
yeah, that yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
this is cool. This is...
Well,
I
yeah.
know what's striking me right now. The charts are looking really similar. Like it's insane.
Then yeah.
Although not the same numbers, but I'm looking at this chart.
It's more or less the same songs, yeah.
Yeah, I think, excuse me, what's missing on yours that I have on mine
Mm,
is number 10, which is Zenzele by Uncle Waffles.
yeah.
Number 6, Stola Kamnandi by Smirnoff no Z and Vumadlos. But everything else is there. So my number 10 is Zenzele by Uncle Waffles, World Music and Uncle MC. Number 9 is Ngisakuthanda by Zinqumalo with TBO, Lockjam King. Then number 8 is Mapurisa with X-Dabi Kabza, Abantwana Bakho. Uzizwa Njani by Jax Rex, Mahu, Tutugela, GLC is coming in number 7. Then Sajola Kamnandi by Smirnoff noZinqumalo, number 6. So this Maskandi and Mapiano that's happening in Combo lately. I
Yeah.
like it. Then number 5 is Vuga by Oscar Mbo, Jazzworks and Tutuela. Number 4 is Vomatlozi featuring Ancestral Rituals and Isa Sisto. Then number 3 is The Chopper by Shandesh and Mazel. Number 2 is Dudla Slender by Shandesh and Mazel. Then number 1 is The Saga 6 AM by Caesar Jazzworks and Tutuela. Literally, this top 10 is literally Jazzworks, Tutuela, Shandesh. Yeah, they are
Yeah.
just literally,
Yeah.
almost every song they are there.
Because actually, I'm looking at this and I'm listening to you, and I'm wondering where Tuktela is coming from.
Bengamazi nami until these songs. And then when you look back, literally all the songs that you've been hearing recently, ukhona.
Yeah, like it's that means that he's definitely someone that we should be looking into because you can't have this many hits out of nowhere and not be talented. Like he's got something special. He's clearly got
Definitely,
something special.
definitely. It reminds me of Tugs and DJ, not Lala Tugs and Tugs and
Oh
DJ.
yeah, oh yeah.
That guy is a musical genius, guys. I don't know the amount of hits that man is on, and most people don't even know.
Yeah, like tugs in actually a lot of the three step that we're hearing.
Yes,
Tugs in is on there.
definitely. Yep,
Yes, God, he's is on there. Like you can just name them,
a
and because
lot.
and it makes sense because he's actually the one who came up with a three step.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
so
I
it
just
kind of
like
makes sense.
people who I don't care about being famous, man. I just want to work. I'm not saying that's what's happening with Taylor, but if that's him, great. If not, Nakona, great. But these are people who love saying, listen, I'm just here to work. I'm
Yeah,
doing what my heart loves, what puts me at ease, what makes me sleep at night, my heart's desires. Whether I get
but
famous off it or not, hey, It is
Yeah,
what it
that's
is.
something
He's
else.
not
Yeah.
just gonna give you bangers after banger, you know?
Yeah. And it actually brings up a conversation that I was thinking that we should have, especially with what was happening with Uncle Waffles, or the conversation that was being had around Uncle Waffles last week, if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken. But yeah, it's a completely different conversation, especially around producers, around buying music or sharing music, around the mapiano with all these people being on one song. But just to give a bit of an idea of where I am about that, it is, I forget who it was, where he was on Instagram Live complaining about Uncle Waffles not bringing him along to performances,
Mm.
where he's the one that made the music, gave it to Uncle Waffles. They had some sort of agreement that was going on. But Uncle Waffles would perform the songs on stage and he would not bring him on, or yeah, we would just not have him
Mm.
around on stage with her. And for me, I'm thinking, good team, you know, producers, especially in Amapiano, they really need to change the way that they work. If you're gonna make a song and give it to an artist, an artist is not fully obligated to bring you on, especially if someone like Uncle Waffles, because Uncle Waffles is for most of the time she's out of the country. So
Yep.
if she's performing if she's booked out of the country, and when you want to be on stage with her, who's going to be paying for your flights? Who is going to be paying for your accommodation? Who's going to be paying for your
Mm.
food?
Makes sense.
There's costs in all of that. And when Uncle Waffles
Yes.
is booked, they're not booked with you.
And she can be booked for a whole month also. What's gonna happen with you in that month?
Yeah, like
Maybe it's like one show that is guaranteed. You're just going to London for one show. We leave
yeah,
it tonight, coming back. We're performing like on Saturday evening, coming back on Sunday. We can say, okay, maybe. But if she's booked the entire month, oh, it's tricky, man.
like who's going to take care of you? Because the booking is just for Uncle Waffles, not Uncle Waffles
Yeah.
and whoever is credited on a particular song. Because you're just going to be on stage for one song, and that's pretty much it. And
That's true.
doesn't make
Unless you
financial
are
sense.
willing to try yourself out, do that.
Yeah.
Just to,
Yeah, but
like just to break out, like, because you might actually find out that you're liked or loved, rather. And
yeah.
once that has happened, you can easily then start building your name and.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of elements around it, and but yeah, it's just going to be a whole different conversation, and I feel like it's something that we should have another time. But it's
Yeah.
just yeah, it was just a case of where I am mentally around that. But just to move on, and because we're very close to the end of the episode, is there anything else that you want to share or talk about quickly?
You didn't tell me your favorite song by MfanaTouchLine.
Oh, yeah. Um, so what I've been listening to actually the past week, one song and although I have to say that it's very hard to choose just one,
Mm.
because Prada Lee Balenciaga, that is up there, but but I think also with is it Italiano? The one
Oh,
with the
Italian.
quantum, yeah, Italia. That's also very good. But the Koteta Swervo, I think that's the one for me. At the
Is it
moment,
not
that's the
because of
one.
how it starts? Because the song grips you from the
Yeah,
beginning.
from very, very beginning.
From the
Uh,
get, literally. I swivel better the quarter and it's
yeah.
gone. You're done.
And like it's the very small things that also show you just how cultured or where someone is in terms of just like general pop culture. Because
Yeah.
here when he mentions Gordon Ramsay, that kind of tells you of the what he's exposed to in terms of pop
Mm.
culture. It's similar to Sjava. The fact that he would mention about Nicki Minaj, that he says that Nicki Minaj is his favorite rapper, and
Mm.
also a lot of other things, like the small things. It just shows where the person is in terms of pop culture and what they expose themselves to. Which and especially when you talk about Java, there's a lot of things that you do not expect him to be watching or listening to. So with Final Touch Line as well, it just gives us an idea, a bit of an idea of where
Yeah.
he is in the world.
No, definitely. And guys, one thing about me, I think that's one thing I always love about certain artists. It's the smallest things. Remember, even when okay, Malume did that whole now I'm leaning like the Tower of Pisa, you know?
Yeah,
I feel like yes, I might be pushing it if I say that's somebody reading, but I feel
yeah,
like when you're a person who reads, when you're a person who watches news, when you're a person who is into documentaries, when you're a person that doesn't mind Googling stuff, when you hear such references, it's just like, okay, so there's other people doing this. And I feel like it shows that there's more to life than what you just exposed to where you
those,
live,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Because the references are insane when you listen to music. Like, and if it doesn't hours, you're literally going to get lost in the
so,
sauce.
yeah,
Honestly.
and it also speaks to the kind of to previous conversations that we've had about especially around
Hmm.
hip hop artists who only listen to hip hop. Because as an artist, you need to be able to be an artist that reads. You
Yes,
need to be an artist that listens to other genres of music. You need to be an
definitely.
artist that has interests outside of just hip hop. You can't just be like being a hip hop head does not mean that all you're exposed to is
That's
hip
all.
hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't be. You won't be as great as the people that you look up to if all that you expose yourself to is hip hop.
No, that's true. And there's also more to the music than the music. As
Yeah,
much as you're an hip hop artist, you saying that you don't necessarily have to just listen to hip hop. I mean, Krista was listening to Katy Perry the other time.
yeah.
You literally even the things that you watch, the things that you read,
Yeah.
you can't just be reading a hype or what's that other one? Not Daily Rap, the one from the States. Oh,
There's double XL.
yes, double X. You can't just be reading that only. You also read like books and stuff.
Yeah.
And besides reading books, they are, when you're on social media, there's more to social media. As much as you have interest, right? No one when you sign up for TikTok or whatever, it'll
Mm.
ask you what are your interests, whether it's travel, fashion, whatever, you're right. You're not just gonna select music, to be
Yeah.
fair, you know? You because a human brain is one incredible feature that we have, you know.
Mm.
It can take all of that, you know, so you're going to consume all different things. And that's how I always admire writers. I'm speaking broadly now. I'm not just focusing on hip hop, right?
Yeah.
Guys, I admire people who can write. I admire people who can articulate themselves. I admire people who can decipher things. That for me is in my next life. That's what I aspire to be.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like when like speaking about references right now, I'm remembering in Kanye's Sjava. I don't know which song it is. Forgot the song. There's a reference he makes that not the one Zinger, because Nale flew over people's heads because
Yeah.
they didn't know what he was referencing, you know?
Yeah.
But there's a reference that he made to, he said, now I'm touching mad figures like I'm Sharon Gambo. All right.
Who is Sharon Gambo in the first place?
Guys, she's a gym bunny.
Yeah. No, I'm saying,
And I'm
Gucci,
just like, when I heard it, I'm just like, there's no way, because I know I'm interested in fitness, right?
yeah.
So when I heard that and I'm like touching mad figures, I'm like, Sjava is insane, guys. You
Yeah.
know? Literally, because you're thinking if he would reference anything, it's probably music or TV, you know? You
Yeah.
wouldn't think he literally knows of a fitness influencer that most people don't even know.
Yeah.
So South African, like a lot of people don't know Sharon Gambo. To be honest, they don't. You could
And
have
before the
expected him,
song,
maybe
I didn't know it either.
do you understand? You'd have expected him to maybe to reference your is it Grace Mutlana, not the other Grace. I think that is Grace or Gloria. I think it's Grace. Grace
Mm.
Msutwana, yes. She's a fitness bunny. She's gorgeous. You would think that maybe he'll reference her because she's local, she's does all of that. Or Fit Masi. There's a lot that are more famous than Sharon Gambo that are local, you know?
Yeah.
But they said no. I'm touching mid
But
figures like who? Sharon
Sharon.
Gambo. And I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's what we want from people who know how to write, you know?
Exactly. And you know that the crazy thing is that he probably would, and I'm just speaking like generally when you expose yourself to a lot of information, like there's references that stick in the subconscious that you're not aware are there until you find yourself
True.
in a situation where you can use that reference. Like for with that Sharon Gambo line where he probably wrote the song and it only came to him while he was writing. Like there was no prior intention to include her, probably no prior intention to include her. But when he was looking for how to make this work, Sharon Gamble came to mind, and that is what he went with. So that's the
And it
importance.
worked.
Yeah, that's the importance of exposing yourself to a lot of information, even in general conversation, where
Yep.
you realize once you make an example about something that's when you realize that you actually know
Yes, the
something
question.
about
Yeah.
yeah that because you have something to refer to.
You see what I mean about the human brain?
Like it's crazy.
There are times that you even find yourself using certain words, and when you look it up, actually use it in the right
Mhm.
context. You didn't even realize.
It
Like you
was the
use it
first
for the
time.
moment, just like, am I right? You're like,
Yeah.
no, let me just Google. When you find time, you Google, like,
Yeah. And this is your first time ever in your life using that word.
to understand.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's read. There's more to life, man. Let's read, let's listen to different music,
Yeah.
watch documentaries. There's a lot, man. There's a lot a person can learn,
Yeah.
honestly.
And it's also true for producers as well, because
Oh, yes.
follow the likes of Amo, for instance. Huge library
Yep.
that he has and that he follows. That's how we are able to find certain samples that people do not know even exist.
Yep.
That's why you were able to hear a certain beat and you think that this person is a genius for coming up with
Yep.
such a beat, but they didn't come up with it themselves. It was just a sample. So it's true for absolutely everyone that expose yourself to things that are outside of what you are
It's
specializing in.
exposure for real. That's
Yeah,
literally it.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't have anything else. Is there something I'm forgetting?
Don't think so.
Yeah,
It's started, but we'll see. We'll see.
yeah.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
Uh, yeah.
Not really.
That's
Besides Kane Kid that we touched on earlier, no, because we started with Kane. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because just one more thing about Kane Keid, because he was speaking to Slicker on live around that deal that
Mm-hmm.
he has with Roc Nation, where apparently he had to sit down with his team and actually like have a proper discussion about where they're going next and what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that decision to be one with, or rather to work with Roc Nation, it was purely out of a publishing perspective. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
else Roc Nation is offering or what they're gonna where they're gonna take him, but I feel like it's a pretty good deal. But remember, I think will.i.am was trying to sign Kane Keid sometime last year when all these artists were
Yeah.
were posting him or all these famous people were posting him and talking about him. But he decided not to go with will.i.am for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason was. But it just goes to show like the kind of thinking that he is implementing around his career and his image and going forward. So all the best to Kane Keid, and
Yes.
I'm hoping that he continues to make the right decisions and he makes them at the right time.
Yeah, no, same. I really want the as besides him being an incredible artist now,
Yeah,
I have experienced him multiple times at events, right?
yeah,
And the love that he shows other artists is insane. And I'm not talking about the love where he literally walks up to them to greet and tell them that I really enjoy music or get like whatever. What he does is they could be on stage performing and this man is rapping word for word. And when they step out, doesn't even care like to go for them to them rather. He's just there for the culture.
yeah.
When I tell you, I've seen multiple times, he's done that for Osman Mane, he's done that for Pretty Ugly, he's done that for who's this?
Touchline.
Touchline. And it's amazing to see because you can see this is someone who's really about the music, you know.
Yeah,
He's not trying to because there are like affiliations that people make when they enter the industry.
True.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily because you're a good artist, but because of who you know. And now they're trying to keep you close because of who you know, because
No.
they
Yeah.
know that keeping you close is going to help elevate their careers, you
Yeah.
know? So it's nice to see someone who's like, hey, me, I'm just here to vibe. If it happens, great. But I'm here for the music.
Yeah, like again, it goes back to being cultured and reading
Yeah.
and listening because that's you can hear it even in his lyrical content that this is someone who exposes himself to
Yep.
anything that he finds interesting outside of hip hop and music in general.
Exactly. And I
Yeah,
like that, man. I really like that. And I really hope this year is a good year for him, actually.
yeah,
I really want him to be that guy.
yeah, yeah. But I believe it will happen. I really believe that it will happen for him.
Same. Same.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, anyway, I don't have anything else that I want to talk about. This year we haven't had a single interview. Hopefully, we'll have one within the next couple of weeks, maybe even next week. I don't know. But yeah, we'll talk about it and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and
We're about to have an outro right now. The time we didn't have an intro. We just
we
went
did
straight into
it. I was
I'm
about to
trying to
get there.
ask.
I was about to get there. Thank you very much thank you very much for watching and for listening, for being with us from the very
Mhm.
beginning up until now. If you haven't subscribed as yet, please do subscribe. Please like. Please comment. Please share with everyone. We really, truly, truly appreciate your support. We truly appreciate your love. My name is Manelisi. With me as the beautiful, the superstar Oracle, one that I wouldn't be able to do this without, Zee Mazibugo. And because we didn't have an intro, this is our outro. But thank you very much, and please stay tuned for what we're going to bring you because we've got a lot of great stuff coming up. But until next
Definitely.
time, have a good one. Cheers.
Bye.